Coach, first any updates on AJ Greer?
Yeah, he's in tonight.
What does that do for the team, not even just from what he brings on the ice, but just getting a new player in at this point of the series?
Well, he's been such a positive part of what we do, but that would include Jesper Boquist, who's coming out, so we put another guy that's played very well for us in the playoffs, so there's that positive vibe. I think the big look, there's a chemistry on that line. They positionally become really structured very well, so we expect that tonight.
Right side, third row.
Paul, Barkov is at -4 and doesn't have any points in the finals. Are you worried at all about his playing?
We're trading him. No, I'm not at all. There's action at both ends of the ice all the time. And I don't think this is a statistical series because it's not relatable to series that you've played in the past. I mean, the shot attempts, the sheer volume of quality offense driven by both teams. At the same time, both teams are defending very well. So, well, I got a minus on the 4-on-4. It's a heck of a shot block. It's in the back of the net. I didn't bench him. He's good.
Left side, front row.
Paul, with Anton, I mean, you've talked about how, Marchand has helped unlock him offensively. He's been consistently very good defensively since he basically got here. Just how has he continued to play at this high level for such a young player this deep, in these playoff runs?
This is where I think we always talk to the older players about the value of experience because they have it, but the curve is sharpest early for young players, what they learn about playoffs. And I don't know, what's his number now? He's into the low 60s in the last 3 years. So he's going to come up on almost a full season of playoff hockey. So he's just a veteran guy now. He's just not a young player anymore. He just so that experience that he has, both, maybe it's a Barkov, Luosterainen, Lundell, Mikkola thing. They're all hyper consistent players. There's not much change in the game. Which goes, I wasn't trying to be funny about your question. Their consistency level is just through the roof. So they'll have a couple of nights where they're minus, but their game isn't wrong. And then they'll get a couple of nights where they're heavy plus, and there really isn't much aberration in their game. I just don't think of him as a young player anymore. He's a veteran guy.
Right side, fourth row.
Paul, I wanted to ask you about Bobrovsky, and I know you've said you'd kind of stay away from the goaltenders a little bit, but as a coach, can you speak to maybe the clutch factor and if, that's really a thing for goaltenders and how he fits into that?
I don't know. I mean, I just totally take goaltenders are just taken for granted by the time we get here, right? There's so many. We'll talk about the overtime goals and those guys, but it's shift for shift, right? The saves they make change the course of either team. I think, but he's been so consistent, right? Like he was a very good player in November this year. When our team wasn't really good, he was pretty darn good. And he's put himself in the position that maybe that I just lied to you earlier about the older players and experience. I do think older goaltenders' experience is really, really valuable. Their ability to stay mentally in the game, because both goalies have faced 5 or 6 quiet minutes and then incredible shooters, right? So it's a high intellect game for the goaltenders.
Left side, second row.
Hey, Paul. Your team's a +1 in special teams through the first 2 games, but has had a hard time getting in on the power play at home throughout the postseason. Yeah. How important is it to convert on your opportunities throughout these next 2 games?
Well, we're down to there's no more than 5 games left, so that may be the deciding factor in any one of them. It's a critical piece. I have absolutely zero. I think the number is something like 3.9% at home and 40 on the road. I would suggest, though, that we're not either, and no team is. We've never run a 40% power play home or road, and we don't run a 4% power play home or road. I think I have absolutely no idea why those numbers are so skewed at all. and we've talked about it, and then once we got to the point we couldn't figure it out, we just left it alone. That's some high-end coaching there from you people. I don't know is the answer.
We'll take two more for coach, left side, second row.
So Bennett, Ekblad, and Marchand all having great postseasons, good years. What, in your experience, separates guys who thrive under contract pressure and guys who maybe let the contract year get in their head a bit?
Well, if your game is driven by what contracts are handed out on, I think you have a higher susceptibility. I don't know that you buckle under the pressure. I think you have a higher susceptibility for failure, possibly. This is just a theory. But we pay these guys on goals and assists. For defensemen, even that we do. That's still a big number. So if you go out and especially I would say with our team, and that's your focus, you're not going to have very much success, or you're going to put yourself in a position where you struggle. Confidence becomes this critical thing, right? It's going for me or it's not. Or if you get out of the gate, like Sam got out of the gate hot, maybe that had something that was a good thing for him. But if you get, it's your contract year, and you get 15, 20 games, and you got bagels, that can affect you. So none of those three men hit the ice with that as their primary goal, right? They are structured. They play within a system. They play really hard, which I believe would give you a better opportunity then to generate offense. But you have a foundational game that you can hang on to. So if you, like Sam did go, he had a stretch this year where he didn't score. It really wasn't the end of the year because his game was still pretty good, and I don't think he was particularly worried about it. So they're not point guys. They produce, but that's not how I view them as players.
One more, back left.
Hi, Paul. During the playoff, a hockey player will be battling injury and try to push to stay in the lineup. AJ Greer was saying in French that he was not healthy enough to help the team. Do you like that maturity level from AJ?
Yeah. Well, there's a threshold with all these guys when the guy sitting out can be better than you. And AJ just had gotten to that point, right? Bo could come in and do what AJ was doing, and he did. He came in and played great for us, which gave AJ a chance to heal. There's a lack of selfishness that goes to, that might be harsh, because the driver of that isn't a contract. It's they want to help the team win. So they're willing to play with just about anything. And both teams over the last 3 years have guys that have played with broken bones. But I can't speak for their team, but I'm just sure of it, right? But there's a threshold there, and the deeper your team gets, the more you have to take the sacrifice sometimes and say, I can't be as good as that player can be. And then it's some self-awareness too, right? That you know that you're not right where you need to be. So we were fortunate that we were able to heal AJ to a place that he's really confident in what he's doing. But good on him for recognizing that as well. It wasn't a fight to keep him out, but he's ready now.
Bob's had two really strong games for you guys here off the bat. I know for him the goal is always that nothing changes, but do you notice a change when Bob goes from regular season Bob to playoff Bob?
Not really, no. I mean, he's so dialed in his off-ice habits that he just sticks kind of to the same routine, and his preparation is, unlike anything I've ever seen while being in this league, and I think that's just kind of, how he translates it to, the on-ice performance, and being here for 2 years, it almost, it almost becomes routine, some of the incredible saves he makes, and he's done a great job for us.
Right side, second row.
Yeah, for Seth. Curious how you feel your guys' PK has done through the first two games. Obviously, we know how lethal their power play is. You guys have held them, I think, 2 goals on 10 opportunities. I know there's been a lot of penalties throughout the first 2 games. Just how do you feel the PK has done these 2 games, and how do you feel it's carried over from how successful it's been throughout the playoffs so far?
Yeah, we just try to stay aggressive. We try to pick the right moments to jump plays or pressure the puck, when they're fumbling or things like that. But I think it's been decent. Obviously, some things we can clean up. They're great players. They're going to make great plays with time and space sometimes. But we want to. I think the best penalty kill for us is to not take penalties. At the end of the day, and if things do break down, we have Bob in the net to make some big saves for us as well. So we want to stay out of the box as much as possible. But we will have to block shots. We will have to make good plays to take some of their time and space away.
Right side, front row.
Seth, you did play with Sergei Bobrovsky a lot in Columbus. I'm wondering, A, what's it like to be teammates with him again? And just how has he sort of evolved or changed as a goaltender? I mean, I know he's won the Vezina back then too, but how has he sort of changed, improved, evolved as a goaltender?
Man, I think Bob's been Bob. You know, like Roddy was saying, even back then when I was, I got traded to Columbus when I was 21 years old, and I was able to see that preparation up close at that, young of an age. And still to this day, I haven't seen preparation like that day in and day out. The mentality of him just being locked into his craft, and even at his age now, wanting to get better every day, even if it's a backdoor goal, he's taking blame. He thinks he can make every save for us, and that's a goal you want in the net. And for us, it's just an honor and a privilege to play in front of him every single game. Knowing the saves he makes and the work ethic he puts into trying to make us a better team and trying to and giving us really an opportunity to win every single game regardless of how we play in front of him.
Left side, front row.
Seth, I think Anton Lundell might kind of fly under the radar just with all the talent on this team. And but just what have you seen from him defensively? He's been very good defensively. Maybe kind of flies under the radar there because you got a couple of Selke, contenders at forward. Just what have you seen from him since you've arrived about how he puts in the work on defense?
Yeah, he does not cheat the game at all. And sometimes you see that out of young players who, want to score goals and produce offensively. But I think him playing, like you said, behind and watching, a guy like Barkey and Rhino, a couple of Selke guys, his game's just been growing. And, it's obviously, I've only played with him for a few months now, but even from regular season to playoffs, you see his game elevate. He's great in the faceoff circle, super responsible down low in the D zone, doesn't lose his guy very often, if at all. And that line's been special offensively as well. So they're really doing it all for us. And they're going to be a big part of us being successful here in the next couple weeks.
If you have a question, please raise your hand. Left side, fourth row.
Seth, one more for you. You obviously have been part of great defensive pairings in the past, you and Zach and Columbus, for example. What do you think it is with Mikkola that makes you guys work so well? And when did you know that this pairing could be something special for you?
I think just Meeks' ability to skate and move the puck, be physical defensively. He really is a real threat back there. You see him join the rush, make plays offensively too, which I don't think a lot of people see all the time, but he's not afraid to make those plays and jump in. And we have, I think early on, I only played a couple games with him and then Necki was out, and playing with forward, you're kind of playing with everyone a little bit, but as soon as we got back together, you could really feel, or I could at least, the chemistry between us, just trying to be on the same wavelength when it comes to defensive plays or offensive plays. So, I'm really happy to play alongside him. He's a hell of a player, and we have hopefully a long time together.
Take one more question, front right.
Evan, I know the guys on the fourth line have sort of moved around, but what has A.J. Greer brought to this group, and what does he do in the lineup for that fourth line?
Yeah, he's a pain to play against. He's a guy that can change the momentum of a game. He's heavy on the forecheck, and for the most part, I don't think D want to get hit by him. So he's just overall, he's a really good presence for us, and he chips in offensively. He lays the body, and just overall a pain in the neck to play against.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of playoffs. You just gotta get comfortable in tight games, and especially games that go in overtime. You don't wanna get nervous or try too much. You just gotta believe that you're gonna do the right things and you're gonna get the result.
How much has the experience you guys have had the last couple of years helped you when you've gotten into those situations, into overtime?
I think it's been helping a lot for myself and for the team as well. When you get to those situations, I feel like when you have already played some high pressure games, you are able to keep yourself maybe a little bit calmer. You're not stressing too much, but at the same time, it's high stakes, and you wanna make sure you get the job done.
Obviously, Edmonton has some of the best offensive players in the world. Just what have you learned from defending against them the first 2 games this year and the 7-game series last year?
Yeah, I mean, we all know how good they are. They have some very good forwards and a great team. So we know it's going to be a battle every game, and we're ready for that. Yeah, it's been huge. It's been great to get Brad with us, and I feel like we've all seen him for many years in the league and how good he is. So I'm very impressed about everything I've seen so far. Everything on the ice, and especially in the locker room. His personality. He's a unique person, a unique player, and that's why he's so good, I think.
What has that done though for your game personally, just for him?
I feel like we've been able to find each other very well. We haven't played too much together yet, but feels like we've been playing longer together than we have. So I feel like he's been able to help me a lot, and hopefully we can keep doing that.
A lot of the special teams through 2 games. What's the unique challenge against that power play now that you've seen it for 2 games?
A little bit same thing. They have some great players there. You got to be aware where they are all the time there, but especially, staying out of the penalty box helps a lot. So, but once we get to those stations, just play hard, try to take the time and space away. But at the same time, you gotta be aware of them. They're strong and they're fast. So just be ready.
I wanted to ask you about face-offs and the importance of winning them in this series, and kind of the role that Tuomo Ruutu plays in practices on getting you guys ready on draws.
Yeah, he's been great. It's a huge part of our everyday work that I feel like the people doesn't see. It's kind of behind the scenes work. We look a lot of video. We practice on the ice. But it's a huge part. If you win a face-off, you always get the puck and you get to play with it. So I feel like it's a big part of the game.
Well, that's why you play for it. Like it's all the pressures on the both teams, and it's how it's supposed to be, like 2 best teams going against each other, so it's going to be tight.
And tonight, chance to get back here on home ice. How excited are you to see the atmosphere when you hit the ice tonight in Amerant Bank Arena?
Very excited, like playing in front of our fans, like it was unbelievable whole playoffs and last year, so very excited.
And coming off the dramatic double overtime win last time out, what are you guys looking for as the big focus, the big key going into this one tonight?
Just get our legs moving, play with the 5 guys, get the forecheck going, and just the basic stuff. We don't have to change too much.
What do you like with the penalty kill through 2 games? 8 for 10, obviously, how lethal they are. Just in terms of feeling that out, how do you think it's going through 2 games?
They score a couple, but I think we can do something better also and not taking too many penalties. Like I think last game we took too many, so need to stay out of the penalty box and just do what we do, like pressure hard and know where's the big guys.
Nico Paul spoke about just all season long he's pulling out defensive plays. Maybe in this he's having a hard time doing that. Despite the scores that we've seen in the first 2 games, can you just speak to how good the defense has been on both sides?
Yeah, it's been back and forth, like a lot of chances on both ways, and like great players, and like when there's a chance, like good player scores. But yeah, I think we can defense a little bit better with all 5 guys and limit the rush chances, and yeah.
Nico, why do you think you and Seth work so well together as a pairing?
I don't know. He's a good player. Like big body, he can skate. Kind of similar to me. Maybe a little bit better with the puck, but I think it's working pretty well. Like we play simple game, talk a lot after and during the games, and like try to get better every game.